Thank you for that. All right. So you've obviously, been the candidate choice for that constituency. I think you said September. What are you hearing from constituents as their top concerns right now?
Well, there are two things. One, you're hearing it's the same concerns you're practically hearing from everybody. Things like cost of living, crumbling infrastructure, a failing education system, lack of maintenance on the roads and on the beaches and in the parks. But more specifically in C31, some of the issues that come up are things like the closing of Port Royal School and the uncertainty that it's creating with respect to where are some children going to go at the end of this school year. I've spoken to parents who are pooling resources with their wider family to put their children in private school because they feel that there's a lack of consistency with respect to the academic program. And those children who are coming out of primary school, they're at very tender ages. Those are, very malleable ages. And you want to make sure you get it right. You don't get a second chance at that. So that is a real concern. But many of the concerns are, across the board. There are concerns about rats. There are concerns about trash. There are concerns about crime. There are concerns about road safety and a lack thereof, not only because of the state of the roads, but also the way we have allowed people to behave themselves on the roads, which can feel almost kamikaze. I mean, it is just hugely upsetting that we are sitting here in the second to last week of January. And so far, we've already lost a young woman on the road. And I think there are 2 or 3 people right now who are in ICU because of traffic accidents. That's unacceptable. And we can't accept that we're going to have a minimum, say, of 12 deaths on our roads every year, which we do, basically. We need to have more policing, and there needs to be more enforcement. So people have to be caught, and there have to be penalties and make people uncomfortable. Many, many years ago, if you were speeding beyond a certain speed, you'd be taken off the road for 3 months or 6 months or whatever it was. And that really is a deterrent because that is hugely inconvenient. And it's not only inconvenient for you, it's inconvenient for your family who, you need to get the kids to school, you need to get the groceries, all of that. And, anybody who was taken off the road, most people who were taken off the road will tell you they remember it and, they didn't do that again, right? And so we need to there needs to be a deterrent. There needs to be enforcement, and then there needs to be deterrence.
You just mentioned it's up to the voters, but why do you believe the One Bermuda Alliance is the best group to lead Bermuda as a government in 2025?
Because I think we have the best team. I think we have a diverse team of people, as I said earlier. The One Bermuda Alliance team looks like Bermuda, okay? And but also it's the acumen of the members of the team. So when you look in there, you see depth of experience, depth of skills, depth of life experiences that this team can bring forward that is broad and is appropriate for what needs to be done to run the country and to get us out of some of the problems that we're in right now. And I believe in the team.
All righty. We've got a question from the audience. I'm just going to go to this real quickly. And again, I'll get through as many as possible. Traveling Trotty says, what are your views about education reform in Bermuda?
The education reform has been difficult, and there are a lot of difficult issues with respect to education, particularly given the fact that we have less children and it's difficult to keep the buildings going. So there's that. But what is really unfortunate is the way it has been rolled out. To hear from time to time, for instance, that there are signature programs, but there aren't any teachers to teach the signature programs, or that there aren't enough staff and faculty at the school to keep the school open on a given day, which causes parents stress. But above that, it also sends a really bad message to the students, and that is that we as an adults and the education ministry is not accountable or organized enough to keep the schools open. And It just basically indicates a lack of responsibility, a lack of accountability. And these are leadership positions in our community. And I think, it's important that we lead by example. And you're not seeing a really good example of that right now. The other thing about the education system, we need to get back to some serious technical training. Not everybody's going to be a lawyer or an accountant or an actuary. And not everybody wants to be. But we do need skilled construction people. We need skilled carpenters, masons, plumbers, electricians, and people who can build things, craftspeople. We used to have the Technical Institute many, many years ago, and then it was Bermuda College. But the technical training, high-level skilled technical training, has really not gotten the attention that it needs. And it's a vocational area, but many, many people have made life careers out of it and done very well, and we should bring that back. It's an opportunity.